Hi everyone, I'm Wendy Muse, creator of the Left Pocket Project, which brings you the history of leftists of color, one swipe at a time. And this is the Left Pocket Project podcast. On today's episode, it's going to be really quick, and I'm just going to apologize for the really big delay that I've had in getting any content to you whatsoever. This podcast is brought to you by motherhood and the pandemic. There's going to be a lot that I'll discuss in a later episode about this, but I just wanted to let everyone know I am still indeed alive. I am still very busy, but I wanted to really commit myself this time around to recording on a regular basis, even if I don't have a guest. One of the big challenges just with everything going on has been trying to have the time to do anything, let alone schedule guests for the podcast, edit the podcast, etc. I've been really, really busy, to say the least. And like I said, I'll get into this in a later episode. But I am indeed still alive. I will put out episodes this year. I'm committing myself to putting out episodes regularly this year. So hopefully you all will get a chance to enjoy that over the next few months, aka 12, and hopefully for the foreseeable future after that as well. There have been a lot of life changes and things going on that end that I'll also get into that have made things a bit difficult in terms of my time and allowance of free time. So yeah, we'll talk about that later on as well. I will, of course, also have some episodes with guests as per usual, and episodes with Richard as per usual going forward. But I just wanted to drop in and leave this as a hello, hi, how you doing? Everything's okay around here. I am still here, just surviving a day by day, incredibly excruciatingly busy set of demands in my household, in my career, in my personal life, etc. So, and my health, blah blah blah. I hope everyone is safe and healthy and had a happy New Year's Eve and now a happy New Year's Day. And hopefully 2022 was okay for you all. It was not okay for me on several fronts. But I hope that your 2022 was better than mine was. And I also hope, most importantly, that you all have a lovely 2023 going forward and that you can set yourself and your commitments and your general life towards happiness and fulfillment, however you may find it, and so long as it doesn't harm others. I don't really have anything else to say right now. Like I said, I'll do a separate episode about what's going on with me and why I've been MIA to the hilt. All of it is like circumstantial and related to situations in the world, not so much anything that personally like hit me. I mean, I didn't have like an asteroid fall on my house or anything like that, so nothing to be too worried about. But for those of you who follow me on Twitter, you just generally know that like I'm busy as F. And yeah. Anyway, all that being said, thank you so much for listening. If you are a Patreon subscriber, thank you for subscribing and having, oh my God, like kept your subscription going this whole time, even though the last time I recorded and put out an episode was in May of 2022, which is a great episode, by the way. So if you haven't checked that out, definitely do that. But I really, really, really appreciate those of you who have continued to donate. And I also recognize how hard it is right now, especially considering we're dealing with basically a silent recession, massive inflation, and the ongoing pandemic, all of our money being given to war, and like it's not making anything any easier for any of us. So for those of you who have been able to keep up your donations, thank you truly. I really, really, really appreciate it. All of your funds go back into the podcast. And so I hope to put that to good use this year. And also, I just wanted to say, for those of you who can't afford $1 or more per month. I get it, and I still appreciate you, and I very much appreciate those of you who listen. And if you enjoy a podcast episode or something that the account has tweeted, aka me, or whatever, but if you share it, if you let others know to listen, if you tell other people about, oh, you heard this series about Paulo Freire, or you heard a series about Angela Davis, or something on our podcast that helped you learn something more about leftism, and especially leftists of color, then amen to that. I appreciate what you're doing and the fact that you're getting the word out and you're helping others learn through the podcast. That's the whole point of it, right? So I really, really, really appreciate that. And I'm glad that you're able to share. That to me is more important than anything else. But I should say, if you can donate $1 or more per month, that's so hard to say. Like I'm always joking about how difficult that is to say, but it's no joke. It is really difficult. Try it at home to say donate $1 or more per month without like messing it up, because you have the R sound from dollar, or I guess dollar, and then more, and or, and then per right after one another. So it's like those sounds are all kind of similar, but very different at the end of the day. And then when you try to say them all at once, it creates a bit of a, like your brain can't, at least my brain, personally speaking, cannot wrap fully around it and say it properly ever. So my apologies that I always have to redo that one. So let's try it one more time. If you can donate $1 or more per month to the podcast, definitely do that. You can drop on patreon.com, and that's patreon.com/leftpoc. And you can follow us there. All of the content is always free, but it's just to give you an idea of like what's going on around here. If you want to donate, feel free. Not obligatory. As of right now, I still plan to keep most, if not all, of the episodes free, and may do some special things on the Patreon that are like for listeners only sort of stuff. But I don't plan on having any interview or Comrade Mommy or whatever content behind a paywall. The whole point of the podcast is to give people access to these things without having to pay for it. So why would I do that, right? So I want to keep doing it that way. So yeah, if you can donate, great. If you can't, continue to spread the word. And also, as I always say, you can find us on social media outlets like Facebook and Twitter just by searching for Left POC, and that's LEFT POC. This is going to be a really, 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 really exponentially busy year, but I hope to spend it all with you and be able to really talk to you all through the podcast and hear from you all about the podcast and through your shares and discussions of things that we cover here. I have some great ideas in the lineup going forward, especially for Comrade Mommy, because I am indeed a mommy, and I am being a comrade not only to my fellow parenting people, but also to just my child, my family, and other people who are starting to understand that, like, being a parent, and especially, with the gender breakdown in cis hetero relationships, for example, being a mother, it's a lot of work, and in ways that are often unfair, and that we would be striking over were it not a socially conditioned and a socially acceptable conditioned position to be in. The other day I was doing the math, and I realized that if I got paid $20 an hour for the work that I do with my child and in my household, I'd be making more than $100,000 a year from being a parent. So it's really a lot to say that we're doing this work for free oftentimes, and like not with much benefit on the other end, other than, the personal fulfillment of like your child being taken care of your family, or your household being taken care of to some degree. But in general, it's a completely unfair setup, and we would call it out if it were any other workplace. So it's mind-blowing to me that it's not done more for household labor and things like that. But again, that's for another day, another episode, another set of discussions that I'll go into at another time. But I just wanted to say thank you all so much for listening. Thank you all for sticking with us despite my complete and utter absence and negligence of this podcast. Trust me when I say it is not intentional. And I can't wait to continue forward into the new year. Please look for more regular episodes on my part. And I promise you that I really, 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 really promise you that. And I hope that you all can get as much out of the episodes as I do in making them. So with that said, I'm going to close things out. Again, Happy New Year to everyone. Please be safe out there. Continue to wear a respirator mask when you are indoors or if you are in close proximity with people outdoors. And when I say respirator mask, I mean a KF94, a KN95, or an N95. If you have any questions about how to wear your mask, how to check the fit of your mask, where to buy masks, that is a way that's affordable, where to get COVID tests, or where to find free masks, please do not hesitate to contact me on the Left POC Twitter page by going to @LeftPOC, of course. And also for those of you who may follow me, my personal account, you can ask me there as well. And that's Muse Wendy. Just make sure you spell Wendy with an I. So it's MUSEWENDI, all one word. So again, with that said, everyone, please be safe. Have a great first of the year. I love you guys. Be safe.